10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here, roll under the bed.
Slide over here, slide over here, you drop on the shots like this, you go here, here, here,
If I get him where I need him to be, he's gonna sleep for sure. Soften him up, then fry him.
Floyd Mayweather has reportedly reconnected with Gervonta Davis for an intense training session ahead of Davis's highly anticipated fight against Jake Paul. Despite their earlier disagreements, the former champion appears fully focused on helping Tank get ready for the spotlight.
Fans, the real ones that know that this is no easy fight. He's very skilled, and I'm gonna go on the line and say this may be the most skillful person that Tank has faced thus far.
I just don't want to look bad come fight night. My biggest fear has been embarrassed, especially in front of like all these people, like worldwide. Then you be like, come this mean for that, like, you know? Like, I ain't got time for that. I'm not trying to go out getting my butt kicked.
Many fans believe that Mayweather's mentorship adds tremendous value, especially against an unpredictable opponent like Jake. Their reunion has created a wave of excitement and speculation, with many now thinking this fight might be more serious than they first believed.
Want things right now, they want to see nothing but excitement. They want to be entertained. They don't want to pay a lot of money to come to a fight to watch two guys just jab, 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 grab.
Gervonta Davis has earned a reputation for pushing himself to the limit in every training camp. This time is no different. Footage and insider reports show him working relentlessly on his speed, precision, and explosive power. Coaches describe him as sharper than ever, moving with urgency while maintaining total control of his punches. His footwork drills are faster and cleaner, allowing him to glide effortlessly around the ring. His trainers know this matchup demands absolute perfection, and Tank isn't leaving any room for mistakes. Whether it's refining angles, reaction time, or defensive movement, everything he does shows how seriously he takes the threat Jake Paul presents. Tank's mindset hasn't changed. Stay ready, stay hungry, and stay dangerous. Leonard Ellerbay has openly expressed his confidence in Tank's star power, saying no other fighter today entertains the crowd quite like him. Fans don't just pay for tickets or tune in to see a win. They come for the thrill, the suspense, and the explosive knockouts that Tank consistently delivers. Ellerbay explains that people don't want to watch a slow, cautious fight. They crave excitement and risk, the kind that keeps them at the edge of their seats. Tank's knockouts aren't just about power, they become unforgettable moments that dominate highlight reels and spark debates online. He understands both showmanship and responsibility. Fans expect action, and he gives them exactly what they pay for. This upcoming fight with Jake Paul, despite all the controversy, offers another chance for Tank to prove he's the most electrifying fighter of his generation.
Just want things right now, they want to see nothing but excitement. They want to be entertained. They don't want to pay a lot of money to come to a fight to watch two guys just jab, 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 grab, jab, grab. Again, that's why Tank Davis is the most exciting fighter in the entire world, because he gives the fans exactly what they want.
And speaking of familiarity, you mentioned that earlier. This is somewhat of a familiar foe in Oscar De La Hoya via Ryan Garcia, Floyd Mayweather, Tank Davis. There's some old connotations there. How much is Mayweather Promotions and PBC looking to deal a blow to the Golden Boy brand by knocking out their stalwart in Ryan Garcia?
Oh, that's happening. That's happening. And then again, it's always good. You know, it's great. It'll be great for Tank.
Paulie Malignaggi believes that boxing needs to protect its true spirit. In his view, The fight between Tank Davis and Jake Paul feels more like a spectacle than a legitimate competition. He worries that a sport built on decades of tradition and fair matchups is starting to feel scripted, where fame overshadows skill. Malignaggi argues that if victories aren't earned against equally skilled opponents, the meaning behind those knockouts starts to fade. Casual fans might cheer, but longtime boxing followers are left disappointed, fearing the sport is losing its authenticity. In a conversation with Chris Algieri, Malignaggi emphasized that mismatches harm boxing's reputation and urged promoters to refocus on real, high-level competition.
Knockouts, dude. Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture knockouts.
You can't manufacture.
To a
Gervonta
degree,
Davis
you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
champions.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way Wayne did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know? The way they did when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
But by your standard, you could say that Tyson was, to a degree, manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time.
Teddy Ellis will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of Witherspoon.
That we're afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone. There was nobody there in that era that you can say Tyson didn't fight.
Didn't say it was related. It was the same as the Tyson era. Didn't say it at all. I was actually going to say the opposite when you talk about Trinidad.
Floyd Mayweather's influence in boxing remains unmatched, and the constant rumors surrounding him speak volumes. Analysts suggest that his reported interest in facing Tyson shows that he's not ready to fade from the spotlight. Even in retirement, Mayweather thrives on attention and competition, always searching for ways to stay relevant. At this stage, it's not just about money. It's about maintaining control over his legacy. Sharing headlines with Tank and Jake may have reignited that familiar spark in him, reminding the world that his name still carries incredible weight. Whether the Tyson idea actually happens or not, one thing is clear. Floyd wants to make sure the spotlight always finds its way back to him.
Many celebrities and so many people that are known where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Let me say Mike Tyson, I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about what is going to happen in that fight.
Eddie Hearn agrees that while entertainment plays a role in boxing, it should never become the foundation of matchmaking. He warns that if social media fame begins to dictate who gets world-class fights, the sport could lose its credibility. According to Hearn, Tank vs. Jake is a crossover event, fun for audiences and profitable for broadcasters, but questionable in terms of sporting integrity. He insists that genuine competition must always come first. If hype keeps replacing rankings, younger generations might start believing that celebrity bouts are the same as true championship fights. His message is clear: boxing must stay boxing, not a social media storyline built for views.
To a global business with investment and potential floats, and it's been a great challenge.
Away from that, obviously the DAZN deal is up next year. Are those talks underway to extend, or are you looking elsewhere? What can you tell me?
Yeah, no, they are. I mean, we're very happy with DAZN. I think what they've enabled us to do is to really have the global ambition and global strategy that I wanted, and that was really a big part of my mindset moving forward in boxing. We know there's a lot of other platforms out there that might have had broadcast deals end, that would be looking to replace those people, and we are very well respected in the space. I don't think it would be difficult for us to walk into another broadcast deal, but we're very happy with DAZN as partners. And as I said, the strategic element of that, I mean, when we talk about, the power list and stuff like that, we have international deals with DAZN in multiple markets, and obviously particularly the US market, which makes us unique as a business. And I actually believe that DAZN are in a fantastic place, particularly in the US market right now. And we are in deep talks to extend that relationship, and we're very happy with our broadcast partner.
Eddie, just whilst I've got you, obviously just a few things I'd like an update on. We last time we spoke, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul seemed to be the front runner for you guys. Now we're getting Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. What can you tell me about that? What can you tell me about why Jake and Anthony has maybe been put to the side for now? Yeah,
they always told us that it was, we were looking at that fight for February of next year, and they always said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then, but I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show. It's entertainment. It's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight. With, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but, I understand the market, and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. Now, whether you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers. It's just not boxing. And I don't think we should promote it as boxing.
In the meantime, then, Eddie, where does that leave you with Anthony Joshua? Are you exploring other options for the end of this year, or are you still looking at that fight for the beginning?
Yeah, no, we're not interested in the Jake Paul fight right now. After that, I mean,
The host of The Wade Concept broke down the mind games behind Jake Paul's strategy. Jake isn't just a fighter. He's a businessman and a strategist who understands how to pull major names into the boxing spotlight. By showcasing a luxurious lifestyle and offering massive paydays, he's mastered the art of turning criticism into opportunity. For Tank, who thrives on proving doubters wrong, Jake's taunts and bold statements became impossible to ignore. Jake's psychological tactics are part of his success. He turns negativity into money and builds momentum with every viral moment, positioning himself as a disruptor capable of drawing elite fighters into his orbit. For him, the mind game is just as important as the fight itself.
But also, and again, Jake's only been boxing for 5, 6, 7 years now. It isn't necessarily far-fetched to try to have his own advantages when trying to fight other boxers that have been far more experienced than him. But this one's a little too much, right? This one is crazy because of the massive weight difference. It doesn't make a ton of sense. But again, as far as a sport fight is concerned, I want to make sure I make that clear. Again, this is not me hating on it, because I do think that both guys have been very upfront with what they're doing in this fight and what their goals are with these kind of events. But the narrative Jake's trying to create is if this is like proving anything for him fighting a real fighter when Gervonta is so much smaller than he is, it'll prove something in the fact that Jake is willing to put on great events, but it won't prove anything to the people that are asking him to fight a real fighter. I will say though, if Jake goes out and flatlines Gervonta, the casual audience that will say Gervonta smokes Jake completely and utterly, like it wouldn't even be close, that will change their minds a little bit. Not the people that know boxing, but the people that are going to watch this, the casual viewer that know the name Gervonta Davis and know the name Jake Paul. If he is to compete with Gervonta at all or look good in that fight, people will in some way accept that. Or they'll do the other thing where they just say the fight's rigged, which has never been the case, but you get what I'm saying. What Jake is doing is trying to convince a casual audience that he belongs in the ring with bigger names. If he's able to hurt Gervonta at all, that might actually do it.
The undefeated lightweight champion of the world,
with a record of 30-0, 28 knockouts.
And this one is over.
The brick
He's been boxing since he was 5 years old and turned pro when he was 8.
Showbiz believes that reducing Tank's decision to money alone misses the real story. Yes, the payout is massive, but Tank also has pride and legacy to defend. The knockout bonus adds extra motivation because it ensures one thing: Tank won't play it safe. When a fighter of his caliber hears that a knockout brings a huge reward, it instantly increases the intensity. Every punch becomes a statement, and every round feels like a hunt. Tank isn't stepping into the ring for an easy paycheck. He wants a decisive, unforgettable victory. When pride, reputation, and highlight moments are all on the line, losing simply isn't an option.
Told me that Gervonta Tank Davis is just taking this fight for a payday. He's just trying to get to the bag. Well, you got the fight itself, which is a payday, and you got a KO bonus on top of that, a big bonus. That's what Jake Paul said.
They're gonna get a big bonus.
And they got a side bet of $2 million.
Let's make it 2.
Y'all gonna shake on it?
Yeah.
Shake on it?
Shake $1 million.
2 mil? 2 mil?
2 mil. Let's do
2
it.
mil. Go get a shake.
Oh, they're shaking left ear.
2 mil. There we go.
Oh my fuck.
Why not get the entire...
Analysts predict a tough challenge for Jake Paul. Gervonta Davis has developed a near-instinctive awareness inside the ring, reading his opponent's movements, predicting mistakes, and countering with lightning speed. Jake might have raw power, but landing a meaningful punch against someone with Tank's reflexes is a completely different challenge. Experts agree that once Tank finds his range and timing, Jake will face a level of precision and force that no amount of sparring can prepare him for. Jake's confidence is admirable, but Tank's experience changes everything. One perfectly placed punch could end the fight instantly, a reminder of the huge gap between influencer boxing and true elite-level skill.
Tank Davis look crazy, bro.
Chilaquiles.
Chilaquiles. Gervonta Tank Davis hitting a heavy bag in preparation for his Jake Paul fight November 14th down there in Florida. Man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots. You mean to tell me somebody who done fought UFC fighters and a man with Parkinson's disease can take a body punch from Gervonta Tank Davis, and y'all basing y'all logic just because Jake Paul is big? No, Tank's gonna go ahead and put this man to sleep. I'm telling y'all that right now. If Tank don't put this man to sleep, he done let the black community down, he done let boxing down, and he ain't never been that nice. You Tank fans, y'all trying to give him a pass. If y'all said Tank is as skilled as y'all say he is, if he does not put Jake Paul to sleep and stop Jake Paul, his boxing career is absolutely voided. He already don't care about legacy, and just imagine he don't knock out Jake Paul, and now y'all wanna say it's not a real fight, it's an exhibition. No, we not giving no passes, bro. This Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to put Jake Paul to sleep. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, Jake Paul too big. No, Jake Paul chin ain't never been tested by somebody that hit as hard as Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank should put this man to sleep with ease. I'll say that respectfully. If you don't put him to sleep,
a 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
That's a 2-pack of ass at the highest level. And it's a musty energy at the highest level. Get it together. Get it together. Tank looks amazing. That's the Chilaquiles. Chilaquiles. Chilaquiles.
Former boxer Bernie Thaw doesn't hold back when discussing this matchup. He laughs at those who focus only on Tank's payday, saying they're missing the real point. Gervonta Davis is already a multimillionaire, so money isn't the main story here. What real fans crave is competition, the kind of fight that keeps them glued to their seats, unsure of who will win. Bernie says boxing thrives on risk, courage, and the possibility of either fighter coming out on top. People don't watch just for numbers. They watch for greatness, for moments that become part of history. To him, boxing should always prioritize thrilling, competitive battles over financial gain.
With Tank, and it's I kind of don't really care about the fight no more. It's starting to lose a little steam.
But I'm saying, I mean, if he stops Pitbull Cruz, right? I mean, don't you think that people would want to see, Lamont and Tank more due to the fact that, Tank had a hard time with Pitbull?
No, I think people just want to see Tank versus Lamont because Lamont, he had a hard time with Lamont. It's just like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. People just like controversy. People just like, you know what I'm saying? So people like to see finished business. They don't want to leave it unfinished, and that's what the intrigue is. They want people want to see finished business. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the intrigue of the fight, and it doesn't make no sense why they taking so fucking fight. Everybody keeps saying that, Tank getting the money, but is we getting the fucking money?
So what do you think? Does Mayweather's mentorship give Tank the ultimate edge? Or are fans once again underestimating Jake Paul's strategy? Share your thoughts in the comments below.